Okay, I'm just going to do a quick video on some fun with rubber bands using the looming rubber bands, and pretty much every craft store has their own line of rubber band loom. I'm using Cra Z Art brand, which is the Cra-Z-Loom, and you can only get the Cra-Z-Loom at Toys R Us. And the Cra-Z-Loom is a part of Cra Z Art Shimmer and Sparkle line, which is their line of crafts that helps you make your own designer jewelry at home. And one of the things I love about the Cra-Z-Loom is you virtually use no knots or tying to do this. It's just looping one end of a rubber band over another to make a pattern or design. The Cra-Z-Loom goes for $14.99 regularly. It comes with an instruction manual that has instructions for doing 3 different designs. They start you off with the easiest one, the single loop bracelet. And then they also have the Rainbow Bridge, which is, if I can bring this in, like this first one in this picture is the single loop. And you just thread pony beads over it to make this one. They did metallic beads over a blue and white single loop. And then, I don't know what this one looks kind of like, the Rainbow Loom ladder bracelet. But after that, in the book, this one right here is called the Rainbow Bridge. There is instructions for that. There's no instructions for the second to the first. But this third bracelet is the Rainbow Bridge, and that is included. And this one, I don't know what this pattern's called. That's not in the book. But the other one is in the book. If you have a Rainbow Loom, you probably recognize this pattern to be the triple single bracelet. In the Cra-Z-Loom book, they call it the waterfall. And that's in there. So you get 3 designs to start out with, and then you can go on YouTube and just type rubber band loom bracelets in YouTube search, and it will bring up more products, more designs that you can do with the Cra-Z-Loom, or a Rainbow Loom if you have, whichever. I have the Cra-Z-Loom. And basically the way the Cra-Z-Loom's designed, it has one end that looks like this, and another end that looks like this. This is typically the end that you would add your rubber bands from. So this end facing you, you would lay your rubber bands from here to here, or whatever pattern you're following. And then you would flip the rubber band around to this end facing you to pick your rubber bands up off of it to loop them together. So it does come with this entire loom. It's one piece. So it's not like the Rainbow Loom where you can take the Rainbow Loom apart and rearrange it for certain patterns. And it's not hollow at the bottom. It's got very few hollow spots. It's more like a solid bottom to it, so it's one piece. And it comes with this pink one. One of the things I love about this is my favorite color. It's a nice dark pink or a magenta, and then the crochet hook is pink. Sometimes when you buy this product, as you see in the picture on the box, it's a dark purple color. There's currently no way to tell what color loom is in the box. Most of the ones at my local Toys R Us end up being this color every time I opened up the box. I ran into another person, and they actually found a blue one like you see in the commercial. You see this purple color, this color, and there actually is a blue Cra-Z-Loom, but they don't have any color markers on the box and stuff. And as far as Lynchburg, Virginia goes, all of them have been this color. And I'm just going to show some of the bracelets that I've done. I've done this. A lot of you recognize this to be the 2-peg or 2-finger method called fishtailing. For me, I found that if you're going to use the loom as opposed to your fingers to do fishtailing, that it's easiest to use these very 2 back pegs when you're laying the rubber bands down. Let me lay it down so you can see it better. These very 2 back ones. So the far left one on the pick end and the far bottom right of the pick end. And you just use exactly those 2 pegs. And the reason why you want to use those instead of doing sideways, a lot of tutorials you probably see them using the side loom. If you're more comfortable with sideways, then it would be this one If you have sideways, your far right one to the bottom, and then the next one up from it. But the way the channels are designed is much easier if you do it this way, because then the crochet hook actually goes right down into the channel, so you can put down the channel and lift up to grab the bottommost rubber band when you're fishtailing to bring it up and over. Then you can do the same thing on this side, bring it down at the bottom, and you can pull it up right underneath that bottom rubber band and place it up and over. So it's like an easier position to do fishtailing. So this one right here, I did a quad color fishtail. It's blue, green, purple, blue, green, purple, white, and correction. I actually did a quintuple colored fishtail. It's blue, green, purple, white, and black. And then I repeat it. And then for fun, when I finish fishtailing it, I figured out how to add beads onto my bracelet for the fishtail, because the fishtail is actually a little bit too thick for me to pull the pony beads through. I guess if you really stretch the rubber bands, you can achieve doing that, but it kind of looked weird and didn't look as good, so I did like the slip knot to do through a pony bead. I took just one single rubber band by itself and I kind of pulled it through, and then I did a slip knot to secure it, and then I took the longest end of the bead that was secured on the rubber band and I just pulled it through. I just pulled apart one of the rubber bands here, and I took the crochet hook, fit it through, and then I used it to pull the rubber band through, so that one end of the bead was hanging out the one side of the rubber band, and then the other end that I pulled through, I just pushed the bead through that loop to secure the beads and pulled them tight. And I did an arrangement so it ended up looking like this pink and yellow flower. Another one I did fishtail with is this. I did a lanyard. I'm not going to show the full lanyard. You fishtail until it's long enough to go around your neck to your desired length. And I used all the colors that came with it. And basically the colors that come with the Cra-Z-Loom set is black, white, a deep pink or magenta if you want to call it that, red, orange, yellow, a deeper green, a light blue, and purple. And it comes with 600 rubber bands, and they're roughly an even mixture of those colors. And it also comes with about 24 S-clips, which are packaged like this. So basically on the front of the package when you buy this loom, it says you can make up to 24, and the reason why they say up to 24 instead of saying just 24 bracelets made, depending on the method that you use to make your bracelet, you may end up with lesser than 24 bracelets. So I'm thinking maybe up to 24 if you were doing the single loop design. And because it's 24 S-clips inside of that pouch, is why they say 24 bracelets. But if you do like the lanyard ended up using I used about half of the rubber bands that came with my set to do the lanyard. So when you start doing things like belts, headbands, and lanyards, you actually use a lot more rubber bands than when you're doing the bracelets. So if you keep to just bracelets, you can actually make a lot more stuff. The other one I did, and let me just say straight off, the official Rainbow Loom creators, they pretty much post almost virtually all of the best of the instructional videos for you to learn off of. And then maybe the second best people to learn from that are my favorites is Ashley and Step 7. So the name of the official Rainbow Loom makers, when they first made their loom, it wasn't called Rainbow Loom, it was called Twist Bands. And they renamed it Rainbow Loom when they approved the design. So it's spelled TWISTZBANDZ for that channel. And then the other one, Ashley and Steph 7, it's Ashley spelled ASHLEY and then Steph STEPH and the number 7. And there are no spaces in the channel name. So if you just type those, you can go ahead and subscribe to those channels because they're the best ones to learn off of for making rubber band bracelets. They use a Rainbow Loom, the official Rainbow Loom in their bracelet, not the Cra-Z-Loom. But As you can see, I have a Cra-Z-Loom, not a Rainbow Loom, and I've been able to make the bracelets no problem so far. So this is the diamond design, and it's actually named after how the rubber bands look like when you're laying them down on the loom, not for what the final product looks like. So I did fall colors. I did green for what the leaves haven't all changed yet. Then orange, red, and yellow, because most of the fall leaves turn orange, red, or yellow. I did this flower chain. The flower chain, I watched Ashley in step 7 for the flower chain. Now this one's kind of like a hybrid between the flower ring and the starburst. So instead of doing exactly the flower ring, I did a single star from the starburst bracelet, but I followed the flower ring instructions for finishing it and making the band, so that's a ring. Then from that flower chain, I did a variation and turned it into a ring with a single flower. And this one is the actual flower ring. You can watch Ashley at step 7 or the official Rainbow Loom channel to learn it. It's the same step to make it. And that's a flower ring. This one right here is a beaded ring. And what you can do is you follow the steps for the single loop bracelet, but when you're laying the rubber bands down, feed, except for the very first rubber band and the very last rubber band in your ring, feed a pony bead through, feed the rubber band through your pony bead hold when you're doing the step for laying your rubber bands down. And then you just loop them like you would the normal single loop bracelet. Only difference is you end up with the beads interlocked on there. So that was cool. I also did a starburst charm. You can go on the official Twist Bands page to see how to make a charm. I just changed it a little bit easier to do a starburst charm than to do the flower charm, but you can learn both. I would say this is intermediate compared to the actual flower charm. I had a little bit more trouble with it. This is my finished rainbow bridge, just using the colors that came in the package, but following the same instructions. Oh yeah, this is the single loop bracelet that I did, in school colors, blue and white. This is the Sweetheart Charm bracelet. This is Starburst, and this is done as seen on Ashley and Steph 7. This coloring. If you go on the official Rainbow Loom site, they do a red, white, and blue variation, which is great for 4th of July. What they did is they did white for the border color, and then they alternate between red stars and blue stars in the center for theirs. These are neon colored ones. These weren't, you can get neon color from Cra-Z-Loom, but I was over at Ollie's, and they had another brand called DIY by Expressions, which is also latex free, and pretty much, if it's important for your rubber bands to be latex free, and I'm going to say straight up it should be important for them to be latex free, DIY by Expressions is latex free, Rainbow Loom's brand is latex free, Cra-Z-Loom is latex free. If you buy a package of rubber bands and you don't recognize the brand name, you do run the risk of ending up buying rubber bands that aren't latex free. So you want to look for that latex free, because a lot of you people are making these for your friends and family or trading them at school, and you don't want to be the one that gave the gift that broke your friend out in a rash. So make sure they're latex free, so that way you can wear them comfortably and they won't itch when you're wearing them. And I think that's all the ones I made. Oh yeah, and I did this variation, which is kind of good for Valentine's. I bought some lighter pink ones, so I'm actually going to undo this bracelet and redo it with a lighter pink because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month right now. So it's going to be this design with still black centers, but I'm going to redo it so it's a brighter pink because the breast cancer awareness ribbon is actually a brighter pink. So I'm going to redo this one for breast cancer awareness. And as you can tell, obviously, Starburst and Fishtail aren't my favorites because so far the majority of these are either Starburst or Fishtail. And that's all I made so far.